Market recap for Monday, 27th of October 2025. And so today is a Monday with no news, I believe. Yep, Monday with no news. So, and we just hit all-time high, and on top of that, we had a big gap opening higher. Where's my voice? So, just sounds of low probability. So, what did I expect for today? Right? I expected us to do something similar to this, but I was waiting for market open to validate it, and I was gonna give it like, let's say 10 minutes to see how we're gonna treat our opening range gap, right? So we have two gaps now because on Friday we technically did the same thing, right? And this opening range gap, this new weekly opening gap, whatever, right? I mean, this is not the new weekly opening gap. There's two different gaps, right? This is even higher. So I'm trying to see what we do at 9:30, and I see that we dip slightly into it, but we don't really care about it. So I knew it's gonna be a slow grind up, right? It's one of them days where it'll keep going down, but it's eventually gonna go up, right, throughout the day. Basically, a very high resistance Monday going up, and half of the range will have it been done by like the Sunday range, for example. So as you can see, 9:30, and you can see the Sunday range, half of it would have been done here, it does the other half there. As expected, that's fine, right? So I just knew that it's basically a no trade Monday for me. However, I do have a model for this type of day, and it hits more times than not, right? So let me explain, right? So with this day, our intention really is to create sell side liquidity for to start like the weekly profile, right? And I think I might already know what the weekly profile for this week is, but we'll see. So we build sell side liquidity, as you can see, sell side London, sell side AM, sell side lunch, sell side PM, right? And then we keep in it, we don't take it. There's normally one trade at least for this day, and it would be, I don't know, I call it the fade. Normally it happens if we get to a certain level at lunch, then we literally get all the way to these lows, or if we get to near final hour macro, we'll just have a final hour macro to whatever relative equal lows that are close to us. So we just pull up the 2.5 from the swing at 9:30, the Judah, right? It gets you this level, and if you want supporting swings, as you can see, this one and this Judah, they're all stacking here. So I've seen this happen, and you just have, it has to hit price for the tick, right? So as you can see, I'm waiting, and boom, we're at the last 10 minutes, final hour macro here. I've seen the big dip. I'm pretty sure there's should be something similar. What's the day that went up plus? Just like here as well, right? Boom, we have sell side, right? Final hour macro time. I know it's a bit earlier, but it's final hour macro. Anytime between 3:15 and up, you should be looking for the sells, right? And I can't lie, I did notice this one's a bit booky. Why? Because this one, it started going down early in the final hour macro, and I see this sell side already been taken, and then we go up. If we're gonna go down, why did we not just wait, hit this, and then go down? So I know it was booky, but I was like, okay, you know what? These are relatively equal low now. You know what I'm saying? We also have these if we're feeling extra, because we started having like these large range 1 minute candles compared to the rest of the day, right? So I seen that we have the volatility to do it, and on top of that, all of these stacking, and then perfect to the tick, just everything like the model, right? It says, I can't lie, at the my problem though, I kind of got overconfident with it, right? And I did go maximum leverage, actually over leverage for this type of trade. I never end like this trade is, I would classify it as turtle soup or whatever, right? I mean, in them same risk parameters, right? And for these type of trades, right, because I'm entering at like the highest point, the market is not telling me anything. If I turtle soup, if I enter like this, that means I'm expecting this or very close to it to be the high, and I would have a risk that would allow me to be wrong because it could have went up to here, where could have went up to here, and I should be fine, right? And like I could have this much being wrong, right? Because there's stuff here as well, right? And yeah, I just took the file, right? I didn't even have the stop loss in place because I just didn't thingy, and then I was like slowly getting out, and as you can see, in like 15 seconds, it had most of the whole range, and I got hurt. I got cooked. I mean, it wasn't a crazy amount, but it was like it was like I should have kept the loss at minimum. I should have had one L here, and then I made it a big loss for no reason because I'm just waiting for it to come back down because I know it'll come back down, and I just need to like get out because it's like the last 2 minutes. If it's gone up, it will always go down, right? The last 2 minutes, 58 to like 4. I know that I was waiting for it, and then I kind of took half here, right, and just got out of my position, just left it at that. Anyway, um, I should have not traded. The risk was way more than it should, and then when I realized I'm wrong, I didn't want to take off. So that's 3 big mistakes that I usually avoided, but it happens. I know it's also right. I'm not gonna lie. Every time it's a Monday, it's like I reset my bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like I've noticed, even if I get Monday right, like I come in Monday with bad habits, and then I have to like get hit on Monday so I can like act up and fix up for the next days. So I don't know. I can't lie. If I find Monday is normally always a losing day. It's almost always a losing day, regardless of if I get it right or not. Because I'll always do too much. Maybe I'm getting excited over the weekend, like, oh, okay, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because of all the shit that I learned, or like how, you know what I'm saying? And I kind of get overconfident, and, you know, I got burnt today. It's not like something I can't get in any other normal trade. Like, most likely, I will get this back and more on my next trade, but it's just not worth it. I'm just hindering my like performance, right? So it's cool. It's cool. So now, just because of that, now I'm gonna have a new addition, right? I notice every time I make mistakes, I'm making additions to myself and how I trade and stuff, and they've been paying off so far, right? So now, right? I know on Monday with no news, I should not trade, and I will genuinely like this is no cap, like straight up. Monday no news. I need to have rules to like make me not have rules. So Monday no news. The first thing is I'm gonna look at the market. I know when it's gonna open, and what am I gonna do? Unless it's an NFP week Monday, right? So that's the only exception. I'm gonna go to my Top Step account, and I'm gonna press lockout on both combines or funded XFAs, right? That's done. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, after Monday, like right now, when I watch price action, because then I can 50% to like 70, let's say, I will know what the week is doing just based on Monday, right? 100% normally, or like not 100%, like 95 something percent. Yeah, I'll know what the week is doing if I see Monday and Tuesday play out. Alright, now there's 2 options on how Monday played out, on how Tuesday played out, but I know what's the most likely options here. Okay, so I'll speak about it, but let me speak about my rule. So I need to get one of my notebooks, write the weekly plan, okay, which is what I'm gonna do for the week, and that's actually what I'm gonna do right now. So where is my book? Now I'll take as a journal for the trades. Right, so let's swipe to. I feel like this. If I keep doing this, I'll just basically remove the mistakes. Like it's basically to stay in the game longer, right? Because if I keep avoiding the mistakes and keep capitalizing on the days that are worth it to trade, then my rules for like limiting my like contract sizes and stuff is because normally is okay, I can find the good trades, I know when I see them and I will enter them, but is I have a rule to like limit myself, because I know also on the bad days like this, I will just bullshit my way to thinking, like, you know what I'm saying? I'll make stuff up, right? I'll make stuff up that is a good trade when it's not a good trade. But I know I have that tendency, and I'm fine with it for now until, like, you know, throughout the days to fix it up. So I just need to make sure I'm still limited and I can't hurt myself more than I should, even though I changed it today, right? I even doubled the contracts for it, which is insane. Should not be doing that. So every time this is gonna start. Rule number one is for the week. So I'll just write for the week. Number one is set up, right? Set up the limits for the accounts, right? So that's the contracts for accounts, right? That's before anything for trading. So I know how much risk I want to trade with that week. And then rule number two, I need to not trade Monday at all, or paper for Monday, regardless if it's news or no news, right? Unless it's NFP. Okay, that's rule number two. Gotta write that up. Or number three, I got to have by Monday night, right? The plan for the week, right? The plan for the week, which means can't talk and type this fast. I'm gonna write this one, which means which days and which sessions am I gonna trade? Going to trade per account type, right? So what that means is my XFAs or combines, right? They'll all have their own days, because there's days that I'm mostly confident and, you know, whatever, right? Per account type. So reading these rules, let's set up this week plan, right? Which means also rule number four, actually, for XFA, only 3 days are allowed, right? Because I know the most probable days are 3 days in the week, right? Are allowed. I follow that, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Next month I'm printing 25k, right? 100%. Anyway, let's step to the rule for this week, right? So what's this week? This week, and we start with 27 10 2025, right? So what do we do for this week? So it said set up the account limits, which means 5 MNQ for XFA and 10 MNQ for combine. Okay, so the combines will be 10 and the XFA will be 5, right? 2, it says do not trade at all for Monday, right? Unless it's NFP. Well, I already done that and I hurt myself, so I'm lucky. That's just means that's me to confirm no Monday. I mean no trade Monday, and I guess that'll be a checklist that I have to lock out the account or lock out all accounts. Okay, and then I have to put here rule number 5 for Also, all time for all time high, I only enter longs. I only enter longs on XFA, right? Because at all time high, the most probable anything is getting longs. For example, here, if you're looking at this chart, right? Anytime that you think of a short, like let's say you short this, right? Look how, you can get a short, sure, but it's very and thingy, and then boom, look at that long 1 minute candle, boom, big fair value gap goes down into it, you can buy it. The longs are obvious. Even if you get a garbage entry, it's going up. Why? Because price is trying to book up, so go up. So for all-time high, only enter longs on XFA unless there's one time, unless it's the 15 min breaker short at 9:30 with 3+ stacked sell set. That's its own model. So if it's not that, then it's longs, right? So that's one model. So no trade on Monday, lock out all that counts. Okay, so I should have done that. And then by Monday, the plan for the week, which means which days and which days I'm gonna trade per account type. So tomorrow is most likely gonna be consolidation. So I need to be careful, and if I need to be careful, it's going to be a consolidation going downish, okay, slightly going downish. I don't expect it to go down so much, but it's going to be a consolidation or just slow drag high resistance going down, okay, basically. So that's what I expect. So what does that sound like? Does that sound like high probability conditions? No. So for Tuesday, only combine XFA locked. Okay, Wednesday we're gonna have FOMC, right? So we have Tuesday news, and then Wednesday we have FOMC. Okay, so and that's at 2 and 2:30. So what does that lead me to think? What we're gonna have is most likely a consolidation downish, right? And then on Wednesday we're gonna continue this trend and then go even down, right? Using FOMC, right? The two stages, and then end up start going up and higher, right? On FOMC later. So basically, we use the first stage of FOMC, or maybe even the second, I don't know, but that volatility to make a low, right? And if we could get so deep, right? It'll basically be more of a wick day, right? So give this day another day, and then FOMC, it'll be like it goes down and then goes back up, right, into the range, which then will set up basically the PM of, because I'm trying to long, right? That's the rule here, because we're all time high, I should just be looking for longs, which means from Wednesday PM we should be looking for longs. So go up for Wednesday PM, Thursday higher, and Friday higher, right? Which gives another type of Wednesday low of the week market profile. So that's what I expect. However, if something changes tomorrow, I will have to change this weekly plan. But for now, because it's our road for Monday, we'll have Tuesday only combine and XFA locked. Wednesday, XFA only PM, and combine is allowed all. I can trade before, so this is higher probability than the Tuesday one, so it makes sense for me to trade it if, right? Because I guess it should be like the account should be passed by tomorrow or the day after, right? So I can focus on the other one and just get another combine. Then what's rule number 4? It says for XFA only trade 3 days, so XFA days are longs, right? So longs for Wednesday PM, Thursday, and Friday, right? So, and then for ultra high, only enter longs and XFAs unless it's 15-minute break or whatever. So we'll see. So now we wrote the weekly plan, right? And normally if there is PD arrays, I should have the PD arrays that I should be looking at, but really and truly there is nothing to look at, right? Unless we have this what do you call it, the opening range gap that we didn't use on top of the new. So are we gonna go and visit this liquidity, right, all the way down from the news, right? So let me show you that right here, all the way down, visit all the way down here, and maybe even lower to like where we should have had the discount. I know this seems extreme, but it could happen, and then we could start buying up and come back to my main target. What's the main target? I said this week I expect us to at least visit this 2 and 2.5. Clearly we're already close to the 2, right? I mean close to the 2.5. So we already hit the 2 on Monday, so I'm expecting us to pull back down and then maybe now come back and overshoot it and make new targets, right? Or something like that. But I still expect this to be hit by this week. So yeah, that's the plan. Normally I should have to write the PD arrays that I'm interested in, but honestly Odin is only one, and us just filling these gaps really in our price action. So yeah, so Tuesday consolidation, kind of weird ass trade down. Our Loki could hit the trade right now because it should start slowly dragging us down from here, but that's even lower probability. So yeah, following my rules, I'm just gonna lock out my XFA now, and yeah, it's simple as that, really. Simple as that. I follow these rules, bro. I'm telling you, I do this every week and follow the rules, and actually gauge myself after every week and how it's done. It's gonna be a crazy run, I'm not gonna lie. This November and December, it's gonna be a crazy run. So sure, I can't wait. Anyway, that's the market recap, and I guess my rules or planning for the week that I'm gonna be doing, and I'm just gonna see if it pays off or not, and if I need to make any adjustments. So yeah, so basically any improvements I make, I'm trying to put it here so I can show exactly the steps that I took, and if I ever need to go back and see where I fucked up, and I have the blueprint, right? I have the blueprint. So I'm good. We'll gauge this next week actually, and once we start doing this on a Monday night, this is the time I'm gonna drag this again, explaining the next week plan and how the last week plan have worked out, you know. And let's hope I just lock in for this week, right? Because that loss was very unnecessary. Anyway, peace out. I don't even have the ball. Peace out.